basketball freshman. That's today's big story this Wednesday from Studio Z. The three players were arrested yesterday on shoplifting charges in China. LiAngelo Ball, younger brother of Laker rookie Lonzo, Cody Riley, and Jalen Hill were arrested. They're in China with their teammates to play Georgia Tech late Friday U.S. time. Bruins head coach Steve Alford, speaking to ESPN's Arash Markazi, has already decided on the status of his three players.
The university came out with a statement, and so I won't have any further comment on that other than in answering that question, those individuals won't play Saturday.
LiAngelo Ball's father, LeVar, is in China on this trip with his son's team, and he is uncharacteristically not saying much.
LeVar, do you have any updates on LiAngelo?
No, man, I ain't got nothing yet. I'm going to wait till I get some more intel what's going on, then I'll tell you what's up.
Do you have any concern, or do you think everything's going to be okay?
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Everybody making it a big deal. It ain't that big a deal.
The oldest Ball brother, Lonzo, is in Boston. He's a rookie with the Lakers, and within the hour, he was asked about his brother's arrest.
You talked to your brother yet?
No, I haven't talked to any of them yet. I know they're all over there in China, taking care of it, so I'll talk to them when they get back.
What are your thoughts? I mean, watching this from afar and hearing about your brother and the shoplifting.
I'm just trying to focus on the game.
Has it affected you at all? I mean, I know...
No, I know my people over there handling it, so I'm over here just taking care of business.
You've been able to talk to your dad and
I haven't talked to any of them.
The players were arrested for shoplifting in the city of Hangzhou, where they and their teammates in Georgia Tech were based earlier this week. That city is about a 2-hour drive southwest of Shanghai, where the delegations have now moved back. The players are still in Hangzhou. It is just past 2 a.m. in Shanghai. Arash Markazi of ESPN joins us at the end of a long day covering the story from stem to stern. We're dealing with a very bad delay, but we'll get through this, Arash. Bring us up to speed, where the players are, where the legal process stands.
Well, the three players are still in Hangzhou. They are at a luxury hotel. They are doing just fine from all accounts. A UCLA representative is still with them. They cannot leave that hotel property, Bob. They can go to the gym, they can go to the pool, they can enjoy themselves within the confines of that luxury hotel, but they cannot leave that hotel. So they are not with the team here in Shanghai. They cannot go home until the legal process has played out. All the sources I've been talking about keep talking about that. The legal process must play out. That could take days, it could take weeks, it could take more. They're hopeful that it will just take days. And then at that point, once that legal process plays out, they can go home.
If you can, who is advocating for the players in Hangzhou in the Chinese judicial system? And what has the interaction been with at the time they were arrested? What's been the atmospherics around this?
Well, Bob, they are in Hangzhou because the Alibaba Group is the presenting sponsor of this Pac-12 game. The Pac-12 game has been going on for 3 years. This is the third year of that partnership. They just re-upped for 3 more years. And so everyone I've talked to didn't want to say that played a role. But listen, this is a big deal here in Shanghai, this partnership between Alibaba and the Pac-12 conference. So, listen, there is a lot of people with the Pac-12 conference, Alibaba, just trying to kind of say, hey, listen, these are college students. They didn't mean any harm. If there's a way that they could go back home and we could resolve this, that would be the best case scenario. But again, from everyone I've talked to, this was done in a very diplomatic way. The police arrived at the Hyatt in Hangzhou at around 7 o'clock in the morning. They were arrested and taken to the police department. Sometime in that afternoon, around 4 a.m., they were released and they were able to go to a hotel. Steve Alford was with them during the duration of their time when they were at the police department. Once they were released, Steve Alford returned to the team in Shanghai.
All right, so it could be days before this is all smoothed over or settled or adjudicated in China. Long day, past 2 a.m. Arash, appreciate your time in Shanghai. Thank you so much. And now, the passing of the cultural torch in the NBA.
For my name to come up in a discussion with the greatest basketball player of all time, it's like wow. You see him, Michael Jordan, it's almost like a god. I think I fell in love with the game because of Mike. I wear the number because of Mike. I did pretty much everything that MJ did when I was a kid. I shot fadeaways before I should have. I wore a leg sleeve on my leg and folded it down so you saw the red part. I wore black and red shoes with white socks. I wore short shorts so you could see my undershorts underneath. I didn't go bald like Mike, but I'm getting there. But it'd be post-career though. But other than that, I did everything Mike did. I even wore a wristband on my forearm. I did everything Mike did, man. I wanted to be Mike. So for my name to come up in any discussion with Michael Jordan, it's just a wow factor.
Well, in other words, even heroes have heroes. Young LeBron James was hardly alone in the 90s when the laws of gravity and physics were repealed. Basketball became more than a game, actually part of the culture. And Michael Jordan, he won 6 rings with the fiercest will on earth. Michael Jordan became the man. And in the midst of all of that, one night in Cleveland came this moment in time when a high school star out of Akron shook hands with the king of his game, LeBron James and Michael Jordan meeting. Now, of course, the lofty place Jordan once occupied belongs to LeBron as the face of the game.
We're experiencing history every time this guy steps on the floor.
A right-hand slammer batter. The coronation begins. LeBron James has helped crown Miami.
Pulls up for a 20-footer.
And hits.
What a finish. It's back-to-back titles for the Heat. Back to Iguodala. Up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. Cleveland is a city of champions once again.
And to go all the way to the finals for as many years as he had, that's pretty amazing.
LeBron James, in his prime, 3-time champion at the age of 33, has now, for many young NBA players, taken the place of Michael Jordan as that boyhood icon. Brian Windhorst writes of this at ESPN.com. Clinton Yates of The Undefeated joins us to consider this, along with Kate Fagan, who once hit 44 consecutive free throws when she ruled the perimeter, and she ruled it ruthlessly for Colorado University.
Right.
So you guys both get this. They've each played 1,072 games, but for Jordan, there's a period, end of career. That's where LeBron sits right now. Kate, when you consider this cultural torch passing and the question of heroes, what occurs to you?
Yeah, I think what I think about, not comparing them, but I think about what variables are at play for each of them. And I think when you talk about LeBron James, you have to point out how different life has been for him. So for Michael Jordan, it felt like growing up in the 90s, you solely assessed how you felt about Michael Jordan based on his actions on the court. And all the stories he told around his life on the court, there wasn't a lot of confusion about that, the stories he told through Nike. So it was like, unless you were a Knicks fan, Pacers fan, Jazz fan, you appreciated Michael Jordan on the court because there wasn't a lot of noise off of it. It's almost like the inversion is true for LeBron James in that you decide whether or not you like him off the court based on his social media and a lot of what he does off the court, and then you apply that perspective to his game, and you look at it through that lens to see if you appreciate LeBron James. And these two, the way we look at these two are so drastically different in how we assess their talents. And I think that's what springs to mind when I think about the comparison between the two.
And Clinton, because of course technology and of course blessed social media, we know so much more than we knew about Jordan. Jordan had that facade, and it was a reality, but LeBron is out there, you know, with the aardvark fist even the other day.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron James has been famous since he was 15 years old. And, you know, ever since then, we've all known who he was. He's been a household name. What strikes me, though, thinking about this now, is the fact that Jordan was LeBron's favorite player is very interesting to me. I mean, I'm 36 years old. Jordan was never my favorite player, you know? And so the jump between sort of LeBron to Jordan, let's not jump over the whole Allen Iverson era, who's my favorite basketball player of all time. It's very interesting to me to hear how LeBron must have known how good he was going to be, because at that age to think that Jordan was going to be his favorite player is kind of amazing considering all the people that came in between, never mind those of Jordan's era themselves.
It's certainly, it's a generational thing on every part of the spectrum, because, I mean, you look at some of the great stars, Kate, in the NBA. You got Joel Embiid, 23s, Porzingis, 22, Simmons in Philly, 21, Giannis, the Greek Freak, 22. I mean, these guys, when LeBron began playing, they were still in elementary school. And so, yeah, LeBron is their Jordan.
Right. I mean, there's no reason to think that anybody in the NBA right now would like Michael Jordan. It just doesn't make sense, you know?
Kate?
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, I think for LeBron, too, in the way that these younger players view LeBron, I mean, a lot of it is what he has built branding-wise, both with Nike and off the court and what he's done. In that way, LeBron has been very distinct in how he's built his business. And I think for younger players who more and more at a younger age see it not just as a game that they're passionate about, but as a future and a business that they have to grow up in, they look at what LeBron's done following in the footsteps of Michael Jordan, and they see a guy that has constructed an entire world around being a basketball player. And that's something that I think players have learned at like the age of like 13 and 14 rather than how it used to be maybe in their 20s when they first got into the league after college.
And then there's this, Clinton, the eternal question about Republicans buying sneakers. That's dog Michael Jordan. And we still don't know whether he actually said it 20, 25 years ago. But LeBron has shown an ability to stand up and speak on social matters.
Yeah, I mean, I think LeBron's likability on that matter in terms of where we are in America is very obvious. He's a thought leader, he's a social leader, and there's no way you can take that away from him. I mean, at the end of the day, too, you look at Michael Jordan, I was thinking of this the other day, his highlights aren't even in HD, which is something that from a technological standpoint shocked me. It was so weird, it felt so old. I was just like, wow, what am I looking at? It was very bizarre.
Kate, who was your player growing up and why?
Well, my player growing up was John Starks, so... And that actually relates to Michael Jordan because he was the guy that would guard Michael Jordan, and I loved him simply because it wasn't easy to love him. It was like you were on a roller coaster. So.
All right. Contrarian view, and the guy who tried to, and on occasion did shut him down sometimes with explosive results. Kate, Clinton, where's Shap? We need a Friday 4, 3/4 of it here. All right, thanks so much. And next, he describes the chills he got the first time.